Alrighty.
Alrighty.
That's how Wrestling Jesus starts his videos. Me? I got my own thing going on. Ooh, live from my mother's basement. Or in this case, live from college class. Because I'm the only one here right now, and people aren't going to be here for a while. It's Johnny! Hooray! I wanted to come back and do a TNA Impact review. I haven't been reviewing the shows weekly as of late. Been too busy, but I felt the need to. I thought this was a great TNA Impact, to be honest, and I'll dissect that in a minute or two. But let me first express that I've had a lot of frustration with WWE over the last month, and even longer than that, but most particularly last month. I feel like Survivor Series was kind of, and I feel like the build that they're going into their next pay-per-view with is really. That's the sound that Tasteless Tony T likes to make when you mention John Morrison. Yeah. So, here's the thing. I know a lot of people like to drink the Kool-Aid, like to try to hate on TNA for whatever reason. I'm not okay with that. Like, if you're a wrestling fan, you should like each company, give each a chance equally. I mean, you can pick a favorite, of course. Nobody says you can't play favorites, but just to bash the other one because it's the other one, it's like saying like people that drive Chevys suck or something just because I grew up driving Ford. It doesn't mean that I think that. I mean, my preference is Ford, but I have a Chevy Impala right now. I drive that every day. So what's the fucking point? We're trying to take something that's at a period right here and bring it back up to the glory days of, say, like a golden era or an attitude era, because I'd like to see that. And I'm sure that a lot of us older wrestling fans would like to see that as well. It was a time in our life when wrestling mattered. And if Impact's slogan is wrestling matters, why not give them the chance to prove it? So all you haters out there, knock it the fuck off. It's not okay just to bash something for the sake of bashing it. Now, I know that I give a lot of criticism in my reviews usually, but this one is going to be all right. I thought that Impact did a very great job this week. There were a few problems I had with it, but overall, I was greatly entertained. And WWE, take a note of this, they built toward their pay-per-view. We have 5 announced matches for the next TNA pay-per-view, and WWE has like one? Their pay-per-view is 2 weeks away. I don't know. I feel like TNA is doing the better job at the moment. I don't say that often because it's not ever true, but this week in particular, I think TNA Impact is the better show. Just my feelings. If you have other feelings, if you disagree, if you're right on board with me, if you have any sort of opinion, put it down below. I'm not scary. I don't bite. I like comments. Everybody always is saying, Schleg Daddy on his videos, he's saying, let's get a conversation going. That's the whole point. It's the whole reason I make YouTube videos, is so that you guys out there that are watching them can be like, oh, hey, yeah, good point. Or, hey, asshole, you got this wrong. Whatever. I mean, just don't call me a fag. That's hateful. And I have a girlfriend, and I'm actually going to go get laid later. So that's awesome. By the way, here's a plug for Steffi, my girlfriend. I will see you later, and it's going to be time to ride Face Mountain. Oh, yeah. So, TNA this week, a lot of the things that I think that they did right. First of all, I missed the first, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes maybe. As far as I'm concerned, that was the opener. It set up the match for later tonight. Jeff Jarrett was in it, so who gives a shit? But it made a match, and it had the champ, Robert Roode, and had Sting in the segment, so that was good to see him laying down the law. It had AJ Styles, who was in a feud currently with Bobby Roode, so it was consistent at least. And then out of nowhere, Jeff Hardy, because, he needs to be involved in the main event scene for whatever reason. He was also in the segment. I'm not going to sit here and bash the shit out of it. Good opener, from what I heard, and see that part. But throughout the course of the night, I thought that Taz and TNA actually did good commentary, and especially when they were asking the right questions during the James Storm interview. And then Kurt Angle came out and just started to own him, and talked about how he was going to give him another concussion or something, or how did it feel, and just taunting him. And I thought that that was really good back and forth. So that was a good segment, and I thought that they did a lot of stuff right. Now, when I watched the British Fist video, NJ, he was a little bit critical of the amount of backstage segments that we had, and, you know, to a point, he's right, but I would rather have backstage segments like this that, you know, kind of had a little bit to do with the story, like the ones about Abyss, you know, like, they had like 3 backstage segments tonight that dealt with Abyss, and is he going to come back to Immortal, is he going to, you know, feud with them longer, whatever develops his character, whatever helps him break out of the fucking this monster or whatever gimmick, you know, and do something with him, fine. You know, he's a poor man's version of Kane. He really needs to find something to stand out with. If that involves taking on Bully Ray, if that involves taking on Steiner, so be it. I mean, I don't really like the guy, but, you know, he's got appeal. I mean, they did the whole Hulk Hogan give him the fucking Hall of Fame ring thing, and I mean, that should really tell you that they thought highly of him at one point, you know, so let's just keep going with that. Give some guys momentum. You know, I'd like to see new stuff. Maybe Abyss will get a title shot down the road. I don't know. Let's just... I felt like these were entertaining segments, so whenever you put Scott Steiner with a microphone, it's just gold. So how can you lose? We had a Bully Ray segment with Eric Bischoff talking about how Abyss is a monster, and he put him through a table. A freaking table! And he just got up! So, you know, he really playing up Abyss's strength. Bully Ray is awesome on the microphone. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. Like, he's good at drawing heel heat. He's probably one of the best in the TNA locker room right now that can do it. So, you know, keep that up. And, you know, I hate to see Bully Ray go down at the expense, you know, like, for him to have to go down to get Abyss up. That kind of sucks, because I think that Bully Ray could be one of the better heel, you know, champions for that company. Like, I think he should really hold the main prize, that title. That's, again, just my opinion. What do you think? Put it down below, dude. So, another one of the backstage things I liked all night long was the knockouts washing the cars, and maybe that's just because they were in bikinis and they had suds, and I'm a guy, but at least they featured their fucking women's division this week, as opposed to another company that puts them out there for 60 seconds with a shitty mistletoe match, and then they get to kiss somebody. What, am I taking a shit over here? Did you just see my face? That was weird. So, but I really like... I mean, I don't like seeing Karen Jarrett on TV, but having her boss the people around and telling them to wash her car, that's good heel heat, to be honest. I mean, even if nothing else, at least they featured the fucking women this week. And then we had a match between Mickey J and ODB, and although it wasn't the best street fight in the world, at least they got on fucking television. I mean, I haven't seen ODB on television in a while, you know? Like, do I still wrestle for this company? I know they just released Jackie, but, I mean, it's good to see ODB. I think so, anyway. Breaks it up a little bit, right? No? What do you think? Put it below. Below me. That was a sexual innuendo. All right. The one thing I really did not like about this week's Impact is that RVD had to go down to put over Robbie E. No. I disagree with this entirely. I think that this whole match was completely overbooked to begin with. I think that we're bringing too many feuds together into one crap fest. This is Russo-esque booking, and he's no longer involved in being the head writer guy, so can we just get over that? I know we're trying to propel the RVD Daniels story. Why couldn't they have like a fucking segment, you know, where one attacked the other or one cut a promo on the other? Why do I have to see RVD lose to Robbie E, who I don't think anybody likes? I mean, the whole character gimmick is really stale. He's definitely nowhere near as over as Zack Ryder is, so why not just scrap that shit and try to do something else with him? Besides, they've already had him hold the X Division title for a while, you know, multiple times even, and he sucks. I'm sorry. I agree with Schleg Daddy. Like, I can't stand him. Putting Robbie T with him, you know, big freak Rob Terry, a guy that, you know, could hold the television title because he has. saying that like this big guy is now Robbie E's bitch when clearly he could step on him or something is it's just stupid. And to put a star the caliber of RVD that held the television title in ECW, a company where even the mid carders are better than some of today's main event talent in both companies, it really says something. And I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make Robbie E seem a little bit more impressive, and they're trying to continue the storyline between Eric Young and Robbie E. Just get it the fuck over with. Put that belt on somebody that you're actually going to do something with, like the Pope. That would be a great belt for the Pope to have. Bring him back up the card. This shit with Devon and the tag titles, I don't mind that necessarily, but it's not the right fit for him. And, with the Pope at least, at least they got his babyface thing back. For now. Who knows if they'll change it again. At least they got him away from Samoa Joe. That was a really stale, stupid feud. It went on for too long. And they did the whole role switch where the wrong guy was the bad guy and the wrong guy was the good guy. It just didn't make any sense. So at least they're going in a new direction-ish with the Pope, and at least they have a tag title match coming up, and that's cool. Him and Devon will at least be able to work a cool match with Matt Morgan and Crimson, who at least they're going to feature, at the next pay-per-view. For that tag title, which is more than I can say for WWE, since their tag team division wants to smoke marijuana and get fucking suspended. Just saying. The main event tonight was pretty cool. I did like seeing the three-way dance. I've always been a fan of three-way dances. I never liked Fatal Four-Ways. I thought that was way too much shit going on. Like, a three-way dance is like there's always the element of surprise. I felt with a Fatal Four-Way that it's always two separate feuds pairing off, and you don't ever get like the same electricity out of it and unpredictability as you do with the three-way dance. That's just my opinion. Again, put your comments below. I want to fucking listen to them. I want to listen to them. I want to read them. There we go. Go to college. It breaks you up. Yeah, but this is a great main event, I thought. It went long enough. It told the story it needed to tell. I didn't like how the last thing on Impact is that Jarrett is sitting there on the ramp with Sting. We're featuring two guys that don't really need to be on the pay-per-view necessarily, but whatever. If it gets Jeff Hardy over, fine. Here's my gripe, though. Why is Jeff Hardy going to become the new #1 contender if he beats Jeff Jarrett? Shouldn't it be if a loser leaves town match or something? Like if Hardy loses this match in a cage against Jarrett, then he has to leave the company. But why shouldn't it be the other way around? Why shouldn't Jarrett have to fucking go? Be off television, be out of the company, if he loses the match. I think that really should have been what it was all about. If they're trying to put the belt on Hardy again at Genesis, I think it's way too soon, and I think that a lot of us fans are still kind of pissed at him. I know I am. Like, I don't mind this whole path to redemption thing, but Jeff Hardy should not be a champion for your company. Sure, he could be like a draw, and be a player, but champion, really? He already fucked up, so he's done in my book. I don't know how many fucking second, third, fourth chances you can give a guy. He's had a history of this shit. That's why WWE let him go. And quite frankly, sure, he's still somewhat entertaining, but even he's getting a little bit older now too. So you got to watch out for this shit. I think it's time that they should concentrate on, guys like Bobby Roode and other up and comers instead of like the past. And I see Jeff Hardy as the past. He's an Attitude Era guy. Fuck him. Use Ken Anderson. And I think Ken Anderson's more entertaining than Jeff Hardy. But again, my opinion. Anyway, I'm going to have to stop the video here because it's getting to be long and YouTube hates me, so I can't do videos over 15 minutes. If you haven't checked out any of my audios that I've done with either Dreamboy899 or Mr. Parkin of the British Fists, go look at them now. They're on their respective web pages and channels because I'm the redheaded stepchild and I don't get the video to myself. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I'm John. I'm live from my mother's basement every week. Look for my videos. Check them out. Sub if you want to sub. Comment if you want to comment. Thumbs up if you want a thumbs up. If not, you don't get a t-shirt, so it's your call. Anyway, peace.
Peace.